What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry Answers Arc. Last episode, Genji's body was discovered by the family, and Kraus went missing. Still don't know what's gonna be going on with Hideyoshi, because we know at this point he dies, but when? I guess he has to be the second Twilight, so that's something. Alright. I don't have much else to say other than that, so let's just get back into it. The courtyard was surrounded on all four sides, so while the rain was still fierce, the winds had almost no effect. Fortunately, the ceiling jutted out a bit, so even the rain wasn't so bad. They're gonna go into the study through the window. Okay, let's try standing the ladder up. Be careful. Don't hurt yourself. Sure. Rudolph and Battler carried the special ladder, which was designed for work on high places. Two umbrellas followed the pair. Shannon and Cannon were holding umbrellas and sheltering them from the rain. It doesn't matter if we get wet. Go back under the eaves. Goda, even if there's something wrong with your knees, you can at least hold a ladder down, right? Yes. If only I had enough... What the? Hyaluronan! Going up a ladder would be no problem at all. I am truly sorry. Is that like an endorphin or something? I have no idea. Goda clambered forward to replace Shannon and Cannon. As she watched this, Kyrie giggled. Dad, hammer. Cool. Battler, you love athletics, don't you? Not as much as I love my cool handyman dad. You little brat. Sheesh, I guess I've got to show this son of mine my good side every once in a while. Battler, Goda, hold that ladder down tight. And make sure you're looking up, okay? My hand might slip and you'll have this hammer tumbling down on you. Don't worry, I'll catch it and smash your head in. After putting the hammer they'd gotten to smash the window in his pocket and cracking his knuckles, Rudolph started climbing. Alright.
Will Rudolph be okay? He'll be fine. That guy could totally be in an action movie. Plus, sports are one of his strong points.
I guess this is Rudolph talking? I wish you'd tell me how my skating prowess is supposed to help me climb ladders. I am Ina Bauer, always in a big pinch or whatever.
He'll manage to avoid dying, so there's nothing to worry about. More importantly, we're really lucky the shutters aren't down. Isn't it a common practice to lower the shutters to Father's study for the night? Yes, when we're permitted to enter and exit, we open and close them in the morning and at night. However, I think it was decided that such a thing was unnecessary for the time being, so it was left open. I see. Father will be pretty mad, won't he, if his son smashes his window and comes in while he's sleeping? That's probably... It'd be wonderful if we didn't have to smash the window, don't you think?
I see what she's doing. Sly Fox Kyrie. Both Shannon and Cannon knew that Kinzo no longer existed in this world. Natsuhi had ordered them to interfere as much as possible, but now that it had come to this, there was nothing the two of them could do. They had tried to interfere by pretending they didn't know about a ladder that could reach up to the third floor window, but because of Goda showing off, that ladder had been found. Rudolph carefully climbed the ladder. He would reach the third floor window very soon. As he did this, Shannon and Cannon stared at him, looking uneasy. After this, what will happen next? To the two of them. To Madam. To the Master. Very soon, Rudolph will reach the window. Then Shannon just pulls out her gun.
So, it's already the end for this room's barrier.
Haha. The soldiers are scaling the ramparts, trying to reach the other side. The moment of surrender is truly right before our eyes. I am prepared to be erased at any moment.
We can't let that happen. You have to remain alive, even if it means crawling through the dirt. I'll think about what to do next. For now, we escape from this place.
You may say that, but what can I do? Even the rest are still camped out in the hallway, and Rudolph is approaching the window. There's no way of retreat through the door or the window.
In that case, perhaps you could hide under the bed.
Humph. So I am not even permitted the chance to wait for the enemy's arrival in my throne.
You might have done that while you were still alive, But now you're a ghost that Natsuhi and I brought to life. Ghosts should do what ghosts do best and hide under the bed or in a closet.
Well, something like that really deceived their eyes. My.
Don't worry, I'll be with you. I'll let you escape at the last moment.
It'll be dangerous for you. Even though you're a demon, you won't get away unscathed if you're burned by the magic-resisting toxin.
Don't worry about that. Anyway, I need things to get at least that bad before my heart starts pumping.
How comforting. I understand. I'll hide under the bed.
Also, I want to say this real quick. About my theory last episode regarding how this is all just a game for Erica to solve some sort of mystery. I think what kind of boils that theory a bit, meaning hurts it. I don't know why I chose boils as the word, but whatever. What kind of hurts that theory is Natsuhi, Shannon, Kanon, Kumasawa, and Nanjo all still hiding the death of Kinzo. Because if they were trying to fit with the epitaph and all that, and they were all in on it, Natsuhi could have easily been like, okay, Kinzo, well, I guess he's still dead regardless, isn't he? So he wouldn't be faking his death, he'd actually be dead in that case, and people wouldn't, and everyone would notice that. So, I don't really know. Forget I said anything. Milady, Rudolph will reach the window very soon. Gap? I've changed my mind. I'll guard this place. Hide yourself along with Ronove. What did you say? You've got it backwards. Didn't we plan to leave this place to Gap and have you retreat, milady? The Ronove should have been used for her The Ronove should have been used to her fickleness. This surprised him for the first time in a long while. Beato may have been a powerful queen, but she was also an important piece that mustn't be exposed to danger. Though she was strong, running to the front lines without any plan would not be a praiseworthy move. What kind of whim is this? It's just a whim. I'm not so fond of boredom that I could simply sip tea while leaving everything to you. I've just gotten the urge to jump into the struggle right away. Dots. I understand. It is your game after all. You can do as you wish. I'll carefully watch over the corpses of the first Twilights this is Gap talking, that I have raised, making sure nothing happens to them. Sorry for stealing your time to shine. Is this really acceptable, milady? Oh wow, hello. You should know I like showing off even more than my 3 meals a day. I've done nothing but gobble up Gap's turn. Don't worry about it. Ronove and Gap both fell silent. The two of them had already noticed. Lady Berncastle, who used Furuto Erica as a piece, was a terrifying opponent. This fight would probably be terrifying as well. Beato couldn't expose Gap, her friend, to this danger. Beato bluffed and said that wasn't the case, but Ronove and Gap had already figured it out. Therefore, after confirming Beato's resolve one last time and seeing that she was completely firm in her decision, they nodded in silence and accepted it. I understand. I'll leave this place to you. I'm rooting for you. Take care. Christ, her expressions are even more crazy than they were in Questions Arc. Yeah, please watch over my efforts to your heart's content. Lady Berncastle will probably start trying to expose Kinzo's absence with a closed room argument. Fights in a closed room are normally Gap's area of expertise. Queens are commanders because they're best at fighting in wide open areas. This won't be an easy fight. I'm fully aware of that. I currently serve Natsuhi. Watching Natsuhi's danger from above and letting Gap take care of it doesn't make sense to me. Understood. I wish you luck in battle. Be careful. If it becomes a complete closed room, we won't be able to come in and help you. I'll laugh at them a bit, and if things get bad, I'll just grab Kinzo and run for it. It's easy. With the door and the window, the past and the future to choose from, there are plenty of places to run to. Of course, I won't let this become a closed room. So what, is she gonna fight Erica? Does Erica have some supernatural blade also? Or some supernatural ability? Like, Does this mean she's technically on the same side as Kanon right now? Because Kanon does not like Beatrice. But then if Beatrice is Shannon, that wouldn't make much sense. You know, whatever. Though you won't see us, we'll be cheering you on from very close by. Good luck. Sure. And Womp.
Gap and Ronove became a swarm of gold butterflies and disappeared, and Kinzo melted into the darkness underneath the bed. Then Bayato also became a swarm of gold butterflies and melted away inside the study. After that, all figures and signs of life had disappeared from the study, and it once more regained a silence as though no one had been there from the beginning. Then, Rudolph's outline slipped into view from beyond the window's curtain. Okay. Oh, a CG for it. Dad! Oh, this is Rudolph talking. Dad! If you're there, answer! Dad! As he yelled, he hit the window. His foothold was so uncertain that just hitting the window felt life-threatening. But of course, this was Rudolph, the show-off. Deciding that he couldn't do anything stupid with so many people watching from below, he suppressed the fear from being so high up, and boldly knocked on the window. Come on, grandfather. Can't he hear? I wonder. I hope he doesn't drop the hammer. How many seconds have passed? It's been 30 seconds since he knocked on the window.
So, he'll really smash it? The master will be very mad. Well, someone was kind enough to brag about how accepting that anger is her duty, so there's no need to worry.
Rudolph, that's enough. Do it. Sure. Damn it, Dad. You better not complain after I smash it. And kablambo. He hit it several times and eventually a fist-sized hole opened up in the glass. Because of his unstable footing, this took a lot of effort. Using the end of the hammer skillfully, he brushed aside the now fractured bits of glass and opened the hole further, stuck his hand through it, and unlocked the window. Alright. Then after a hard struggle, Rudolph somehow managed to open the window and his body slipped through into the study. After that, he flopped onto the floor, using his entire body to enjoy the relief of having a ground under him. Dad! It's Rudolph! Answer me! It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Kinzo's study was a small villa he had created inside the mansion. A study, a library, a place to sleep, and a bathroom and washroom. It was divided into multiple rooms. That's right, with all this at your fingertips, it wouldn't be hard to spend your days in this study without leaving at all. We've never really seen just how big it is, honestly. I think we've only seen, like, 3 different backgrounds of this room. Like, there's this one, the one showing his desk, and the one of the portrait. We don't really have much perspective to how big it is. And the portrait's right there, even. So, what? The bed was empty. There were marks on it that made it seem as though someone had slipped out, but there was no one in sight. This happens a lot in ninja movies. Someone finds that the bed is still warm, so the occupant couldn't have gone far. Rudolph tried placing his hand on the bed, but he couldn't feel any heat at all. Not only was there no heat, it felt completely ice cold. And the bed wasn't the only thing that was ice cold. The air inside the room, and even the presence about it, if that's the right word for it, even that felt ice cold. To Rudolph, it felt as though Kinzo had slipped out of this room a long time ago. However, it's been well cleaned. It has signs of having been lived in. Wrinkles in the bed, the slight angle of the chair. Here and there were many marks that would doubtlessly have been cleaned or fixed up if someone had come in to make the beds. As far as I can tell off the top of my head, Dad must have slipped out of bed several hours ago at the latest. That'd be the same general time period as the brutal murder case. Guess we can't be sure Kinzo's absence and the crime are completely unrelated. For the time being, he leaned out the window and told Kirie and the others in the courtyard to come back up, since he was going to unlock the door. Then he pushed the button on the study desk and released the door's auto-lock. There was a heavy clunking sound, and Natsuhi and the rest dashed in immediately.
Father, good morning.
Sorry, but it isn't Dad. I'm the one who opened it.
Was Kinzo there?
Nope. It looks like someone slipped out of the bed, but you can't tell when that happened.
And Natsuhi was the last person to meet him, right? At around 11 last night. I wonder if that means he slipped out of the study sometime after that and went somewhere else. That's... well, we must consider Father's fickle nature. It wasn't at all uncommon for him to suddenly wake in the middle of the night, claiming to have had a revelation in a dream, and walk around the mansion. Isn't that right, Dr. Nanjo?
True. This has happened before. Anyway, he is a fickle person. right, Kumasawa?
That's true. Perhaps he had a strange dream and slipped out of bed. That isn't uncommon at all, yes? Isn't that right, next person who knows? Then where did he slip off to? Does this mean there's a good chance Father's been caught up in this crime? See? We should have checked to make sure Father was safe from the beginning, right? We can't be sure he isn't in this room. Maybe the culprit tied him up and locked him in the closet or something like that. Good point. Let's search. This is the head's precious study. You mustn't touch things without reason. Yeah, that's right. There's something I need to tell you, culprit.
Oh. Well, damn, you're suspecting her this early? Okay. Why are you suspecting Natsuhi, though? Well, I guess because she went to the guest room, the cousin's room first, so she could have just slipped the bodies under the bed in time, maybe. And maybe she was the last to leave it initially, who knows? I don't remember that part, though. When Natsuhi heard this and said right in front of her, her heart froze. But Erika had only just happened to be standing right in front of Natsuhi when she said it. She had directed her words to the room at large. She hadn't been speaking to Natsuhi in particular. She probably was, though. Natsuhi turned her back on Erika, trying to prevent her faltering expression from being noticed. I have a photographic memory. If you try to alter the crime scene by hiding some evidence, I'll know right away. Please don't slip up here and disappoint me. Any mystery where the whodunit is solved by a culprit's slip-up or misspeak is only third-rate, don't you think? Danganronpa?
I don't understand what you're saying, but try to refrain from incautious remarks. Father, are you there? Please answer me! Natsuhi started walking around and calling out in a loud voice, refusing to let Erika say any more. There was a knock. Kyrie and the others who had gone down to the courtyard had returned. So Father isn't here after all?
He might be tied up and shut away somewhere around here. We were just searching for him. I'm surprised he managed to shut himself away in a place like this for all that time. Give it up, Shannon. We can't change anything now.
I wonder what Madam plans to do.
Get paid back for all the lies she's told up until now? Shh! Let's leave fate in God's hands.
Yes.
Many people clambered around Kinzo's vast study, looking here and there. Inside the closet and in the bathtub. Even in the refrigerator and under the study desk. They looked everywhere, almost as though they were it in a game of hide-and-seek. However, not only were they unable to spot Kinzo, they couldn't even find a single suspicious mark. It seems clear that Father isn't here. That's enough. Please don't disturb Father's precious study any further. That's right, that's right. There's nothing the Master hates more than having things moved around without his permission. Father's nowhere to be found. Maybe he really was caught up in the crime? Though we can't be sure of that. Natsuhi averted her gaze once more. It's okay, Natsuhi. We truly do have our backs against the wall. On the off chance that someone entered the study, I'd plan to trick them by saying he'd probably gone for a walk somewhere. However... No one would believe that I'd get dressed up for a casual midnight stroll in a mansion where a murder has occurred and many people have been killed. Though I wouldn't put it past myself to do such a thing. Fuck my family. I don't care that they died. Come now, Kinzo. Be a good boy and hide under the bed. It's okay, Natsuhi. You may remain calm. It's possible to prove that someone exists, but you can't prove that someone doesn't exist. In other words, the human world is one in which, regardless of whether something exists or not, you can make it so that they exist. And the shadows that can make such things exist are themselves the world of us witches, the world of demons. You mean a devil's proof? Ah, yes. So don't worry. The power of demons will most certainly protect you. If it could protect the honor of Father and my husband, I wouldn't mind sacrificing this body of mine to demons. Your resolve is good. Don't be anxious. I most certainly will not let Kinzo be killed. At that time, a dry sound suddenly rang out twice. Erika had clapped her hands, seeking everyone's attention. Though such an action should have been above a guest's place, for some reason it already felt like a natural right of hers. After all, she was the detective. I think that's enough. Ushiromiya Kinzo is nowhere to be found in the study. Yeah, we've searched everywhere he could have been hiding. Dad's nowhere to be seen.
Furthermore, we found nothing that looks suspicious. Yes, we didn't find anything at all.
Erica said it again. They hadn't been able to discover anything.
In that case, we mustn't loiter around this room. Do you understand how angry Father would be if he learned that so many people were looking through his study? Eva, you said you were prepared to take responsibility, didn't you? Are you prepared for him to break off relations with you for the rest of your life?
That's for Father to decide, not you.
Silence, please.
I'd like to lay out the situation. At 2300 last night, the last person to meet Kinzo in this room was Natsuhi, right? Can anyone confirm that?
Confirm?
Yes, that's right. After all, the only one who claims that Natsuhi really did stop by here at 2300 last night is Natsuhi herself. There wouldn't be a problem if Kinzo confirmed that Natsuhi really did come here last night, but that vital witness isn't here.
And in comes one of the servants.
So you're saying alibis are the foundation of a mystery? Yes, that's right. Alibis are important. Of course, they're almost useless when it comes to the actual theory making, but it's common courtesy to poke around those boxes.
Huh. Even though you didn't ask for alibis regarding last night's murder, you are doing it for Grandfather's disappearance. You really are a fickle person.
Oh, don't worry. Have no fear that I will fully examine everyone's alibis regarding the murders of the first Twilight later. So, can anyone confirm that Natsuhi visited here at 2300? If no one can, we'll be forced to doubt whether Natsuhi really was the last person to spot him.
Are you saying that I can't be trusted?
No, it's actually the opposite. I hope that you aren't the culprit. After all, that'd make this really boring. Only the worst third-rate mysteries have the most suspicious person as the culprit.
Wow. That sounds like it was probably super meta. So does that mean the main culprit is not who I've been expecting? So it's not Shannon? Well, who else would it be? I mean, the only other people who I thought of who would be suspicious are Kanon and Goda. But then again, it might be speaking from a perspective of the fact that Kinzo's been dead the whole time is supposed to make me suspect Krause and Natsuhi in the first place. And maybe the point of this chapter is to make me not suspect Natsuhi and Krause as much, and make me divert my attention to somebody else. In which case, I haven't been focusing on them at all. I've been focusing on Shannon for, like, the entire time I've been reading Umineko. Well, ever since, like, after Kanon's supposed death in the first game, I've been suspecting Shannon the most. Just because of her intricacies with the first Twilight, but the first game is so weird to me right now. And the second is too, which speaking of the second game, someone actually left a comment on the last episode. I'm assuming this was a legitimate theory that was actually floating around. Because I remember towards the end of Chapter 4, when, actually probably the tea party of Chapter 4, when Battler was trying to solve the other Twilights of the different games, he mentioned how small bombs could have been put in the food of the chapel to kill Krause, Natsuhi, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, and Kyrie. But then it was, like, deconfirmed by Lambda, Delta, and Berncastle in the hidden, in the secret tea party, the second tea party. So that would mean, yeah, that didn't happen. And then I was told that the small bombs thing was actually a meme. And as far as I know, similar to Corpse Party, this game was released chapter by chapter, or I guess episode by episode. So I guess by that point, it was probably a pretty popular theory, what was said about how Goda is the culprit for the second game, and it was actually pretty funny. So I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what was said, but apparently everything was obviously it's not true, because the small bombs thing was deconfirmed. At least that, at least. But regarding the second game, it was said, like, the joke, I don't know if it was a joke, actually. It might have been a legitimate theory, but the theory was something along the lines of Goda made food for everyone in the chapel, and instead of putting, like, sugar or something in it, he accidentally put small bombs in there, because there's small bombs stored in the kitchen, obviously, that makes sense. And it caused these 6 to die, and Rosa was the only one that wasn't hungry, so she didn't end up dying from it. And then, he helped Jessica to her room later, and when he tried to give her her inhaler, he accidentally stabbed her in the back with it, killing her. And then Cannon came in and just assumed, oh my god, you're fucking killing her. And then he accidentally pushes him out the window. And then, with Nanjo and Kumasawa, he was trying to show them a knife trick, and disaster struck. It's so fucking crazy. But what's even better is his own death, as well as George and Shannon, how he said, hey, I can juggle 3 of these stakes at once, and then blam, 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 dead. It's fucking ridiculous, but I can't hate that. It's hilarious. Natsuhi is suspicious? Wait a second, how can you say that? He's right. Calling Madame suspicious is the height of discourtesy.
Be quiet. Dr. Nanjo, Goda, thank you. Erika, do you have some sort of proof to justify such a rude outburst? Yes, though it's so simple that it annoys me. Sorry to bother you with this TV drama quality evidence, but if you don't mind...
Why don't you just let us hear it? When Batter glared at her, a cold expression rose to Erika's face for an instant. But it was only for an instant. After smiling peacefully and gazing around at everyone, she started to talk. She looked like the main character in a play, who had come out onto the stage bathed in a spotlight.
It's about this morning. Please remember the time after the murders occurred, during the big uproar that followed. We wanted to tell Kinzo about the crime, but he wouldn't come out, no matter how many times we called him on the telephone. Remember that time.
Are we flashing back? We sure are.
Anyway, isn't it bad that we can't get in contact with him? In the worst case, Father might not even know there's been a crime, right?
Well, I wonder. Keenly noticing that people were starting to doubt Kinzo's existence, Cannon mumbled those words.
Who was the last person to meet Father, and when?
It was me, last night. Up until the time of the uproar from when Battler found the gold, I was in Father's study giving the daily report.
So at around 2300 last night.
Heh. Erika chuckled significantly. Why would she know the time, though? That's interesting. Granted, we already know Erika's not the culprit. And what's your point? Ridiculous.
I think Kyrie probably did that intentionally. Am I right? What do you mean by that? I hope someone might fall for it. I see. Thanks, Kyrie. Actually, I was planning to say the same thing if you didn't.
Is who the master saw last really that important?
Yes. If we take the circumstances into account, then in response to the question, who met him last, it was very odd for Natsuhi to instantly answer me.
Why? Madam told the truth without hiding anything.
Be quiet. Why do you think it was odd? Why are you so sure that no one else met Kinzo after 2300?
Well, that's because I watched as he went to bed. It's only natural to assume that he would sleep then until morning, and not meet with anyone.
Considering the circumstances, it was easy to suspect the last person to spot him of having some kind of involvement with this case. A normal person in Natsuhi's position wouldn't say, I was the last person to meet him. I met him at 2300. Right, Kyrie?
Yes, that's correct. A normal person would say, I met him at 2300. However, I'm not sure I was the last person to meet him. Something like that.
Good. Claiming to be the last witness is usually quite difficult. That is, unless you know something that makes you sure there were no other witnesses after you. In third-rate mysteries, the last one to spot the victim is often the culprit. They killed the victim themselves, so they knew that no one else could have met the culprit later on, is how the argument goes.
Couldn't that be nothing more than a minor misspeak? It's not important enough to be picked up out of the blue and focused on. Yes, that's nothing more than nitpicking. Isn't it a little too early to suspect Natsuhi because of a little slip of the tongue like that? Furthermore, you said she'd need a reason to be sure no one else spotted the master. But of course she had such a reason. She left the room after seeing the master go to bed. Following common sense, it's perfectly natural to assume that he probably wouldn't meet anyone else until the next morning.
No, that isn't natural at all. After all, Natsuhi, Dr. Nanjo, and Kumasawa all made this claim a short while ago. Please, try to remember.
And Natsuhi was the last person to meet him, right? At around 11 last night? I wonder if that means he slipped out of the study sometime after that and went somewhere else.
That's... well, we must consider Father's fickle nature. It wasn't at all uncommon for him to suddenly wake in the middle of the night, claiming to have had a revelation in a dream and walk around the mansion. Isn't that right, Dr. Nanjo? Ah, I see what she's doing. True, this has happened before. Anyway, he is a fickle person. Right, Kumasawa? Oh, that's true. Perhaps he had a strange dream and slipped out of bed. That isn't uncommon at all, yes. Yeah, we definitely do have testimony that it wasn't at all uncommon for grandfather to suddenly slip out of bed late at night. Good. Your memory's not bad, Batware. In other words, it's common knowledge to those in the Ushirumi head house, Natsuhi included, that Kenzo might wake up in the middle of any given night on a whim and wander around. On top of that, they are aware that this happens quite often. Okay. I'm thinking a little bit more about Erika right now. I'm not saying she's the culprit in anything, but I'm starting to doubt my theory about this all just being a game. Like, well, again, I don't know if anyone's actually dead or not, because it was never said in red, and I said last episode, I'm gonna assume nobody's dead unless it's said in red, which is my favorite poem. I'm starting to think that nobody is actually playing a game. I'm thinking nobody, absolutely no one here, none of these people are in on any sort of game with Erika to try and make it seem like there's a murder game that they're playing just for her, to give her some sort of weird-ass experience while they're here. What I think is actually happening is Erika doesn't exist. My reasoning for this is it was already said in red. Again, I might just be misconstruing what was actually said. It was said in red, Erika did not exist in the worlds before this one. That could mean she does not exist at all. It would depend on whether those 4 worlds are technically starting from the same X point as this world. If those 4 worlds, the 4 worlds of the 4 games in Questions Arc, are starting from the same point on October 4th, yeah, 4th is the first day. If they're all starting on the same October 4th, like everything up to the relatives arriving at the island, if all of that is the same in all 4 games, no matter what happened after they all arrived on the island, if everything before October 4th is the same, no matter what, across all 4 games and this one, that would mean if Erika didn't exist in those 4, she also would not exist in this one. If they all have different events that happen before the games, then that would mean Erika could exist in this world and not the other 4. However, I haven't been led to believe that anything that happens before October 4th is different in any of the 4 games, and although we've been shown different things happening before then in all 4 games, and this one too, all 5 games rather, that could mean, like, none of them have really contradicted each other. Any of them could have happened. Like, George and Shannon going on that vacation. All of those, that could have happened in all 5 games. Jessica and Cannon at Jessica's festival or whatever. That could have happened in all 5 games. We already know Kinzo's dead at the start of all 5 games. So that scene with Kinzo's death and Kraus, Natsuhi, Nanjo, Shannon, Cannon, Kumasawa, and Genji. Forgot about Genji. All of them deciding to keep it secret that Kinzo's actually dead. That could have happened in all 5 games, and in fact, it almost certainly did. And anything else, like that one time Eva and Hideyoshi and George visited the island, and Eva told Shannon not to get too close to George or whatever. That could have happened in all 5 games. There's really no reason to believe that anything contradicts that. So that would mean, if Erika does not exist in the first 4 worlds, it's highly possible she does not exist in this one either. So I'm assuming she doesn't exist. And another basis I have to go off of that is photogenic memory. Not photogenic. Photographic memory does not exist either. That is a myth. Well, as far as I'm aware at least. There's no documented case of anybody having photographic memory. As far as I'm aware. I'd have to look that up. But, whatever. Let's just continue. I'm just gonna assume for now, Erika does not exist, and as far as I know, nobody's dead. Hell, as far as I know, Batware didn't fucking find the gold. Well, I don't think there was a red truth that said that. Whatever. Let's just continue. Isn't that odd? If you knew Father often wanders around at night, there's no way you could be certain that he'd stay in his bed until morning. right?
It really is like a third-rate mystery. You know, that thing they do in the last 5 minutes, where the culprit asks, "When did you first realize it was me?" and the detective answers.
Seriously, that's why I feel let down. If it turns out Natsuhi really is the culprit, this would be worse than a TV mystery. That's why I want to clear away the suspicion surrounding Natsuhi as soon as I can. I want to make sure this mystery isn't third-rate before I do anything else. Okay, and now I'm backpedaling again. Now I have even more to say about if Erica does exist and this is all just a game that everyone else is creating for her. Everyone's attitudes regarding this make sense. Because, honestly, if all of these people are actually dead, then everyone would be more upset right now. Battler would be the only cousin left alive. He would be way more upset. Eva would be way more upset. Natsuhi would be ridiculously fucking bawling right now. All the servants would probably be mourning the loss of Genji. And Rudolph, at the very least... Eva probably wouldn't care, but Rudolph, at the very least, would probably have some upsetness in his mind for his sister being dead. Granted, Eva would have some too, I imagine. Eva and Rosa seemed to be relatively close. But either way, yeah, I could literally go on either way. If Erica does exist, this is all a game, and she's just along for the ride, acting as a detective, and everyone's moods and all that applies there. If she doesn't exist, she doesn't exist. So, whatever. There's no need to get anxious, Natsuhi. This is a classic word game used by detective wannabes. What exactly is her point? How could she possibly corner you with this accusation alone? In the court of hell, all of the demon jurors will declare you innocent. So calm down and don't get flustered. It may be true that Aunt Natsuhi looks suspicious when you say it like that. Still, it sounds like you're just nitpicking to me. But it is suspicious. Isn't this more than enough reason to suspect that Natsuhi's hiding something? Of all the unfair accusations! And how cowardly of you, Eva! You're the sole person who can confirm that I really was here at 2300, aren't you? Is this true, Eva? Oh, did that happen? I'm sorry. At the time, I was losing my head because of the recently discovered gold. So I forgot all about bumping into Natsuhi until just a second ago. So, Eva, you can confirm that Natsuhi was a witness at 2300. Yes, unfortunately. I'm able to acknowledge that one part of Natsuhi's story, but only that she came out of this room. What are you implying? Oh, I'll tell you. In fact, I've wanted to say this for a long time now. I do realize it's improper to bring this up in the middle of such a tragic murder case, but the timing now is just too perfect. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Natsuhi? The servants gulped and held their breaths. It seemed that they hadn't been able to hide it after all. In the middle of this heavy silence, Eva fingered her trump card and Natsuhi tried to act calm. Both space and time grew heavy as lead and swallowed up everything. Just when did Kinzo disappear, I wonder? Erica's words spoken almost casually as Team Magma enters the building. Tore that atmosphere to pieces like shattering glass. Simply put, we haven't met him once at the family conferences this year or last. That's right, we've suspected it since last year. Seeing as how my son and the others have just been killed, this may not be the time or place to press you on this. But there's a chance that this has something to do with the crime, so pressing you is just what we'll do. It's possible that you have a motive for hiding Father's death. We have reason to suspect you're embezzling his assets. Whoa, and you're correct, good job. Except Natsuhi probably did not kill George or anybody else, assuming they're even dead. If Father were to die, an investigation would be conducted for the distribution of the assets, and your embezzlement would be exposed. That's why you hid the fact that Father's already dead. I see. That's more than enough for the why done it. This keeps getting more and more third-rate. Ah, boring. I don't know what you're talking about. You say I'm hiding the head's death? I most certainly won't forgive such a reckless accusation!
That's right! In addition to Madam, the other servants take care of the Master on a daily basis, and they see him all the time. Genji, Shannon, and Cannon. Even Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa meet with him often.
Perhaps because he doesn't trust me. I haven't seen him even once since last year, but...
Oh, Goda said that. Let me reread it then. Perhaps because he doesn't trust me. I haven't seen him even once since last year, but yeah, I figured that was gonna come out. Be quiet, Goda. Eek! My apologies.
Aren't all of the witnesses besides Natsuhi's servants employed by her?
Not Nanjo. Well, I guess technically Nanjo. He's the family physician or whatever.
So you used money to make them follow your story. Ah man, this is really third-rate. Pitiful, pitiful. I'm disappointed, Natsuhi. So I guess I'll have to finish this now.
Finish what? She's really being cornered, and okay, hello again, Erika.
Ushiromiya Kinzo.
What is it, uninvited guest?
You don't exist, do you? You're a ghost whose death was concealed by those humans who didn't want it known because of the inheritance problem. Ghosts are supposed to quickly pass on to the next world. Even though this is the first time we've met, I've yet to give you a proper greeting. My apologies.
And then she goes crazy.
Good day. Pleased to meet you. And goodbye!
So close to Erika's face that you could barely have wedged a sheet of paper between them. Bayato's pipe came to a sudden stop. Oh boy, battle music or some shit. And a good day to you too! I'm the Ushiromiya family alchemist, Beatrice the Golden. I'll be your opponent in this fight from here on out.
What kind of fucking random-ass secret boss? Glad to meet you. I'm the detective of this game, Furuto Erika. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And now, goodbye.
God, she is ridiculously smug. So, you're Lady Berncastle's next piece after Angie. I'm afraid I didn't get to fight with her to my satisfaction in the end. I'm glad I'll be able to lock horns with you this time, Lady Berncastle's piece.
My master is almighty, omnipotent. A fool like you couldn't even begin to compare with her. I accept your challenge.
You really are calm, even though a witch has appeared before you and is about to fight with magic and fantasy. If you were Battler, you'd be lying on the ground, screaming that this can't possibly be a mystery anymore.
Yeah, even in the mystery genre, parallel universes like this have gotten popular lately. You know about pure reasoning space and all that?
That's probably a reference, but okay. Ayatsuji Yukito doesn't make his debut until next year.
You sure are picky for a witch.
What, do they have a read on the future or something? That's odd. Haha, you think you're on the same level as a witch? Don't be so full of yourself, you mere human. More like she's probably just mystical furniture. When Bayato snapped her fingers, something bounced around the room at terrifying speeds. Yep, the stakes, of course. It was the stake of the witch. A witch's wedge that contained the power of the blue truth within it. Of course, a mere human like Erika couldn't follow that terrible speed with her eyes. Erika understood this, so she didn't attempt to look every which way, stupidly trying to spot it.
Eat this, fool!
Okay. With a terrible sound, Lucifer's blue stake buried itself into Erika's right collarbone. It pierced all the way through her back. Ouch. Okay, bye, Lucifer. Lucifer spun and rebounded, landed in front of Bayato, and vanished with a shrill laugh. Erika wasn't blown back, but she had been run through by the blue wedge.
So, this is that so-called blue truth. Well then, let me hear your views.
What? Oh, I guess both sides can use the blue truth. But what side is Beatrice technically on? Like, we know Erika would be the blue truth using side as opposed to the red truth using side. Yeah, the blue truth and red truth just get more confusing every single game. Like, in the second game, red truth made sense. The witch side can use it. And then in the fourth game, the blue truth and red truth both made sense, but now in this game, I don't know. You can't deny the possibility that Natsuhi met with Kinzo at 2300. During the 6 hours or more before you pushed your way into the study, Kinzo had many chances to escape from it. Because of this, you can't state decisively that Kinzo doesn't exist. Bayato announced that with an expression worthy of her title as witch. Erika was silent. Was she too shocked to speak? There was no anguish in her expression. Show me anguish! She was just quietly listening to Bayato's blue truth. No, judging by her disdainful expression, it's probably more appropriate to say that Bayato's words went in one ear and out the other.
Good. Let's start with the classic moves. By the way, this thing really is stuck good. I can't take it out.
She tried pulling from the front and back of the blue wedge that pierced her, but it didn't budge an inch. Don't do that, that's gross. However, her indifferent, relaxed expression didn't budge an inch either. You can't take it out! The blue truth can only be defeated by the red truth. For one such as yourself, a guest who came to this island at most a day ago, there's no truth that can possibly be known. That means there exists no red that you can use. In other words, this is checkmate. Okay. And then she pulls out the red truth.
I see. So that's what kind of space this is. In that case, I'll need a piece suitable for fighting a witch.
A piece?
I'm the detective. My role is to take on the human culprit. You're a witch, and there does exist a fitting piece to use against witches and demons. Let me introduce you. Miss...
Oh, fuck. How do you pronounce that? Delauner?
Miss Delauner. It looks like it's your turn.
Delauner?
I thought so. I was certain you'd bring that piece in sooner or later. The 10 wedges with which to hunt witches. The Archbishop of Witch Hunting, Delauner! There's no more fitting piece in a battle against demons. I have my double, Erica, and the greatest natural enemy of witches, Delauner. I've now taken control of the 7th rank with my 2 rooks. Let me show you, Lambda Delta, and you too, Beatrice. Now you'll see how useless your struggling is.
So I guess Beatrice is technically Lambda Delta's side? Okay then, hello. So you're Delauner. Another fucking female character. God, there are so many female characters in this series and I'm running out of voices. I guess I have to make new ones. At least this one seems like she'll have a calm voice, but then again, Berncastle has a relatively calm voice. I don't know, whatever. Once she starts talking, I'll care. The air shone brightly, and the piece Erica had guided there showed its form. That form resembled a clergy member perfectly suited for confronting an evil witch. And what's up with your fucking big golden gauntlet thingy? Can you move giant rocks? Oh god. I don't know. Again, we'll just spitball until it works.
It is a pleasure to meet you. Delauner A. Knox is my name.
Okay, ding. Delauner A. Knox. Delauner A. I don't know. And her outfit is really weird. A member of... Oh my god. Eiserne Jungfrau? I don't know how to pronounce European stuff. Or at least most European stuff. I do speak English, after all. The 7th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. A head inquisitor of heresy and a first-class archbishop. She is commonly known as... Delauner rolls off the tongue better than Delauner, so I'll say Delauner. Delauner of the 10 Wedges, or Death Sentence Delauner. The name Death Sentence comes from the fact that, though Inquisitors of Heresy normally judge their targets to see whether they deserve the death penalty or not, Head Inquisitor Delauner is only dispatched after a case has been vigorously inspected by the Great Court. Therefore, the very act of dispatching her is equivalent to a sentence of death. Christ, her father was a legendary Inquisitor of Heresy, but he broke the rules and was executed. She was the one who performed his interrogation and execution. Okay, so she killed her father. Since that time, she has stopped growing, and both her body and mind remain eternally those of a young maiden. It is whispered that her heart also died at that moment, but she does not see it that way. Her primary weapons are the red key and the blue key, which take the form of a long sword and a short sword. Okay. Delauner A. Knox. Knox. That was mentioned earlier in this game, I'm pretty sure. About how, Think, Owen, think. The commandments or whatever the fuck. The rules of mystery novels. So does that mean she wrote them? Or her father did? Okay, but what are they? It'd be nice if the game could actually tell me about things that they're just gonna introduce. Even though this space was like a bomb just waiting to go off, she introduced herself in a neat and frank manner. Her out-of-place appearance, completely different from those of the demons and witches, felt blatantly odd and had a kind of severity to it. She's wicked short, holy shit. Come to think of that. This is the first time I've met you, but I've heard all the rumors. So this doesn't truly feel like a first meeting. Oh god. I'm bad at voicing new characters.
The same goes for me, Miss Beatrice. The detailed materials Eiserne Jungfrau has on you are summarized in 600 pages. I always read such reports, so this doesn't feel like a first meeting to me either.
She seems to put a lot of emphasis on random-ass words. The Secretary of Hell could summarize those 600 pages into 6 letters.
Allow me to ask.
Danger!
A fitting summary. When I return, I will summarize the materials on you using only 2 letters more, out of respect.
Executed. Okay. So I'm cute now. You're too polite, my guest. Oh, haha, I get it.
Then let us continue, Miss Beatrice. I, Delaner, the head Inquisitor of Heresy, do humbly accept my role as your opponent.
Can someone tell me if she's actually as robotic as I'm making her sound? Because I don't know. My first move is over. If you can't remove the blue wedge from that Furuto Erica over there, then you might as well totter back up to heaven and get back to your usual boring job of stamping forms.
Please do something about this wedge thing. It looks like Beatrice thinks she's already achieved checkmate with this alone.
After making a show of tapping her finger on the blue wedge that pierced her, Erica shrugged as though taunting Beatrice. Beatrice! It's okay, I'm just toying with her a bit. After all, if things get bad, I can grab Kinzo and run out of here whenever I want. I can leave this room at any time and go anywhere.
That is useless.
Oh? Oh, nope, she's a lot more expressionful than I thought.
Now that you've met up with me, this is your demise. Escape will not be permitted. None can escape.
Okay, back to reality then?
True, we can't deny that it'd be possible for Father to suddenly wake up and go somewhere. But you know what? I can say for sure that such a thing couldn't have happened. You know why?
How could I know? Are you trying to say you stood outside the door all night, watching to make sure the head didn't take a step outside? Did she use the receipt again? Yes, someone was watching. This kid right here. Okay, what? Now there's more characters. And another character with a really dumb outfit. Same aesthetic to Delaner, though, it seems. God, what voice do I give you?
Please, allow me to speak. Let it be known that entering or exiting through this door is impossible. The palace guards are ordered to blockade the study door.
The doors to heaven opened with a strong, unrelenting radiance like the sun's, announcing the arrival of Delaner's underlings. Underlings? Does that mean there's more? Those words were clad in the red truth and cut off the witch's method of escape. Oh, hello and hello. You guys are here.
Chester 410, right here. Chester 45, right here. It has been some time, Great Lady Beatrice. We were dispatched in accordance with Alliance Agreement number 1516 and a request from the Great Court of Heaven. We apologize for the rudeness that is to follow.
We formed a precision blockade on the study door, yeah. I think it's best if you stay away from it, yeah?
Allow me to speak. I say again, from last night at 2300 until the present time, the study door was not opened even once.
She has really empty eyes. And what is your name? You haven't been introduced.
What is that scrap of paper?
Yep, it is the receipt. It's a completely ordinary receipt. But even so, this mere scrap of paper proves that you lied. Last night, when you came out of the study, Eva saw her chance and wedged the receipt into the crack of the study door. And it fell down just now when Rudolph opened the door for us.
Know what that means?
In other words, from 2300 last night until now, Father couldn't possibly have opened this door. What did you say?
Rudolph, the window was locked, right?
Yeah, that's why I smashed the glass.
The other windows are all locked as well. They're built so that you can't lock them from the outside.
Okay, come on. Another character?
Allow me to speak. Now that the windows were all locked, palace guards blockade all of the windows. By the name of Eiserne Jungfrau, I give the palace guards permission to make use of forbidden weapons.
Oh, and here's 00.
Understood. Entire force, permission granted for use of forbidden weapon, Red Warhead. Begin transmitting activation code.
Unya? The password doesn't work, nya?
410, turn caps lock off and try again.
Chester Squad, precision blockade for study door and all windows complete. We warned the Great Lady Beatrice that if anything is caught passing through these physically, conceptually, or by any other method, we will shoot without warning.
Data from Archangel Satellite 4. Homing format, verdict model, conceptual guidance. And on top of that, we've got red warheads, yeah? Impossible to shoot down, impossible to avoid, impossible to survive when hit. It'd smash even Lady Beatrice in a little bets, yeah?
The Chester squad had laid down a pinpoint blockade over the door and all the windows. Escape would no longer be permitted through any of these. My, I should be doing the welcoming, but it seems I am the one being welcomed. I'm grateful for the courtesy call, and you've even brought the Chester sisters. Christ, okay. I'm still confused. Is this a different one? No, this one was... yeah, there's only two other than Delanner. Okay, right? Don't introduce a third, please.
Allow me to inform you that your paths of retreat have been cut off. Commander Glanner, let us now remove the sin and purify.
She is super short, holy shit.
You've done well, Miss Beatrice. I've had your paths of retreat terminated. You cannot leave through the door, nor can you leave through the windows. Therefore, escape will now be prohibited.
You think you've shut me in with this alone? Did I heard a ding, I think. Okay, yeah, there's only two. Pretty sure I heard a ding. Was there a ding? Yeah. Okay, Gertrude. A member of Eiserne Jungfrau, the 7th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. She's a high-level Assistant Inquisitor and a first-class Minister. As an Assistant Inquisitor of Heresy, she is tasked with aiding during interrogations and hearings. Because most missions end up as executions, she is usually assigned the job of using barriers to block the target's means of escape. When it comes to fulfilling her mission, she is calm, flawless, expressionless, and emotionless. However, most of the time she is quite compassionate, and is loved by many of her juniors. She has already passed her exam to become a full Inquisitor and was offered a vacant position in a different district, but she refused. She waits for a reassignment under Delanner, to whom she owes a great debt, and continues to serve alongside her as an assistant. Therefore, though she is an assistant, she is treated as an Inquisitor, 3rd class Archbishop. So, Gertrude. And the other, those are the Chester sisters. Oh, okay. So we have Gertrude and Cornelia. A member of Eiserne Jungfrau, the 7th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven, an Assistant Inquisitor and a 3rd class Minister. She has obtained high grades in academic exercises, but this is her first time on the job. She possesses a strong sense of justice, and is currently cramming for exams to become an Inquisitor of Heresy like Delanner. Her current goal is to become more like the veteran assistant Gertrude. She normally has a zealous personality. However, she imitates Gertrude and tries to be emotionless. She's too innocent and pure to be involved in heresy hearings, and she doesn't yet know anything about dirty jobs and the dark side of this profession. Okay? Gertrude intentionally selected her for this mission, which reeks of a plot within the Senate. She wants Cornelia to see for herself whether she's really suited for this kind of work. Okay, so you just introduced 3 characters right off the bat. First Delanner, then Cornelia, well, then Gertrude, then Cornelia. Christ, there are so many characters in this game. The Inquisitor of Heresy in Heaven and her subordinates surrounded the witch. The subordinates used a powerful barrier to cut off Beato's methods of escape. Demons tend to resist capture, and as a result, they sometimes escape. However, angels counter by blocking off passages of escape, allowing them to eradicate their targets without fail. In other words, the study was a perfect closed room from the time Natsuhi claimed she said goodnight, to the time Rudolph opened the door. In that case, Father would have to be here, but there's not even a trace of him. Come on, what the hell's going on? I keep telling you to calm down. The thought that I, Beatrice, could be shut in just because the doors and windows are closed is simply laughable. Kinzo, I was just playing around, but it seems our guest has no such intentions. Let's withdraw before we lose our chance. Yes, I will not regret losing this life of mine, but for Natsuhi's sake, I cannot die yet. Beata waved her pipe and the air was split vertically. Okay. Then a pitch black gate appeared there and slowly opened. It was a warp portal, the same as the pitch black holes that Gap used. I believe this was written on my files. An elusive phantom can appear from anywhere and disappear to anywhere. As long as Kinzo has me, it will be impossible to capture him. The pitch black gate opened. That gate led from everywhere and to nowhere.
Both Beato and Kinzo would be sent to a place where no one could catch them. A place where no one could set foot in, much less chase after them.